Welcome back for another Ashes of Creation news video. Intrepid Studios just held their August development update stream, so we have a lot to talk about, from new footage to the Alpha 2, a Q&A studio update, and much more. I'll break it all into chapters below. I did participate in the Alpha 1 quite a bit myself, so I'll also leave links to a review video that I did and also a special mount video that I think some of you guys will enjoy watching. For more Ashes of Creation content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's get right into it. I'll start off quickly with a studio update. About 70% of the Intrepid Studios team has moved into their new studio, and the transition seems to be going well. There's still some rooms that are unfinished, such as the conference rooms and recording room, but after those are finished, us viewers should start seeing some of the new studio ourselves. Intrepid is of course still hiring, so make sure to look into that if you want to possibly be a part of this massive, ambitious project. And over the past month or so, Intrepid says that they've hired 6 or 7 highly talented individuals, which is all good news for the production of this game. Moving on, we did get to see some new gameplay, which does take place on the Alpha 1 map, and in this footage we got to see the Terror Bird mount, which was not present in the Alpha 1. It looks like a dinosaur bird, pretty cool and a bit terrifying. The other mount that we got to see in action is called the Thunderbolt Beast, which falls into the category of gliding mounts, and we did get to see a fairly pathetic glide out of this beast. We were told though that the degree to which a mount can glide is built up over time as your mount levels up. So when you first get this mount, the glide may just be a quick short glide, allowing you and the mount to quickly get down a steep area safely, but over time that glide may turn into a glide that gives you some solid travel distance. Right now in the footage you can see that the Thunderbolt gliding mount is now flying, but the flying feature is only going to be the case for players who get this mount by methods such as becoming mayor of a node. Flying mounts themselves are going to be super hard to get, limited in time, and just really rare in general on each server, so most players will be using this mount as a gliding mount. While on the topic of mounts, Intrepid also told us that they're considering including variants among the speeds that mounts can have based on how each specific mount is brought into the world. So let's say that you make a living up in the mountains of Vera breeding mounts, and you obtain a Thunderbolt through the animal husbandry profession. Well, that Thunderbolt may have some different stats than the Thunderbolt that was found as a drop, or one that may have been bought from a merchant. Like I mentioned earlier, after this video, make sure to check out my Ultimate Guide to Mounts video, where I run all of the Alpha 1 mounts through a series of speed trials. Now let's talk about the Alpha 2. We still don't have a date, nor will we be getting one anytime soon. However, Intrepid did share with us what we should expect to experience when the day finally comes. For the Alpha 2, we should expect to see nodes progress past their level 3 village stage, which was the max that they could reach in the Alpha 1. We'll definitely be seeing their stage 4 town stage, probably their city stage, and possibly even the metropolis stage. This alone will make the Alpha 2 very exciting to see. Along with this, we're going to experience some of the ever-changing world outside of the nodes due to a node's progression. So when a node levels up, expect to see some of the world outside of the walls change, and we didn't really get to see much of this system in the Alpha 1. And lastly, with the nodes, we'll also likely get to see some of the vassal node systems, and vassal nodes are nodes that are under the control of a parent node. When one node reaches its level 3 stage, it basically enslaves other nodes in the area, preventing them from leveling to the same level as the parent node. Moving on from nodes, the Alpha 2 is going to bring with it a dramatically increased world size, which makes me super excited because the world itself was just a lot of fun to explore in the Alpha 1, which is only about 16 or 17% of the entire map. And this dramatically increased world size is of course going to come with content of its own. We're also going to see the secondary archetypes and the augments that come with that. And for those who may not know, at character creation in Ashes of Creation, you choose your character's primary archetype, which is going to be the core of your class. And when you reach level 25, you then choose a secondary archetype. and that choice will determine how your primary skills are augmented. So if you choose a mage as your primary and tank as your secondary at level 25, your class becomes a spellstone, which is going to be a mage with magical abilities that have tanky features from the augment system. Experiencing some of this in the Alpha 2 is almost as exciting as the node progression. Also in Alpha 2, we'll finally get to see what the weapon skill trees are all about. In the Alpha 1, we only had limited access to the passive and active trees, but now we get to see what variety our weapon choice is going to bring to our builds. With all these choices, there's going to be so many different ways that players are going to be building their characters, and I can't wait to see the unique ideas that players try with their weapon and class combination. We're going to see guild skill trees, a revamp of the gathering system, which is much needed, artisan skill trees, and much more. The Alpha 2 is going to be about fleshing the core Alpha 1 systems out, which of course also goes for combat. We got to see some initial combat changes in the Alpha 1, the major one being the change to melee combat, where us players were able to toggle on split body animations or a free form of movement, which allowed us to have full control of our character's movements while swinging our weapons. And this was one of the most important changes, in my opinion, in the Alpha 1, and the Alpha 2 is going to hopefully flesh that system out. So yeah, the Alpha 2 is quite the upgrade from Alpha 1, and I would say that we would be very lucky to see the Alpha 2 in 2021. I'd more so think sometime in 2022, hopefully in the earlier part of the year. Alright, now let's talk about some of the art that they showed us, which came with some gameplay discussion, and then end with the Q&A. These first couple pictures are of an eerily beautiful volcanic landscape. In Ashes, there's going to be a wide array of biomes, and Intrepid wants to incorporate more gritty dark ones alongside the vibrant beautiful ones. Like we experienced to a limited degree in the Alpha 1, you may see a volcano far off in the distance that could be a 30+ minute trek to get there, but if you make the hike, you'll be rewarded with a full new mysterious biome. This is a picture of an in-game achievable cat mount. This is not a cosmetic. This particular mount is achieved through the highly anticipated animal husbandry system. This is some art of a mount called the Black Sight Watcher, which is a cosmetic. And another cosmetic we got to see is this beautiful chameleon mount. For those who may not know, in Ashes you'll be able to purchase cosmetics for various things, which of course includes mounts, but you have to have earned the original item that goes with the cosmetic before you can make use of a cosmetic. You'll not be able to buy actual mounts or gear, for that matter, with IRL money. This right here is the Thread of Fate armor set, which has a neat, unique look to it. And then my personal favorite, the Lyrica Vindictive set. I really enjoy how beautiful but grounded many of these armor sets are turning out to be. We also got to see a Dwarven Dunir plate set and its progression. This set is an in-game achievable set. Intrepid says that their primary objective with in-game achievables versus cosmetic cash shop items is that they absolutely don't want to force players to feel like they have to purchase cosmetics to have good-looking gear. I guess I'll trust them for now, but time will tell. I will admit that I do like that they keep pushing to us that we have to have earned items in-game before we can make use of the cosmetics, which is a much better system than many other MMOs. And lastly, onto the answers to the Q&A. Steven says that if he had to choose, although it's a hard choice, Intrepid's biggest takeaway from the Alpha 1 was the direction of combat and the fluid nature that they want to have between tab and action. He says that they're heading in the right direction with this, they just need to add more polish and continue down the path of the freeform melee and responsive fast feedback from combat and ability usage. In terms of split body versus root motion, Intrepid is definitely leaning towards pushing on with the split body animations, which in my opinion is the right call. The more control that we have over our character's movement, the better. For action versus tab targeting, Steven says that Intrepid is still focused on incorporating both systems into one combat system, and that he thinks that they will find a happy medium between the two. They are currently not thinking about scrapping one and going all in with the other, which is something that they mentioned in the past if it doesn't work out. This hybrid system is one of the biggest worries or concerns that many players seem to have, but hearing Steven's confidence in what they're doing is hopefully a good sign. The Dunir dwarves will be getting an update to their appearance and taking on some of the more traditional dwarven looks that many of us have been asking for. The skinnier, more agile, gnome-looking dwarves will still be in the game, but they will be more so associated with the other subrace of dwarves called the Nikawa dwarves. The subrace of orcs, called the Vek orcs, will be taller than dwarves but slightly shorter than the Valoon humans. This subrace of orcs is more goblin-like, hence that smaller stature. And lastly, there will not be group consequences for players gaining corruption. It will only be an individual thing. So if you become corrupted, it's not going to affect your guild or the group that you're in. And that'll be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for those of you that made it all the way to the end. As always, I'll do my best to keep you guys updated with all of the important Ashes of Creation news. I really enjoyed the Alpha 1, and I'm very excited to see how the future of this game actually plays out. If you ended up enjoying this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. It's a huge help to my channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.